Are you poor but want to cosplay? Me too. As someone who's been unemployed for about 6 months but still has been able to push out new cosplays almost weekly, I think I am very qualified to talk about this. Nana, $10. Link Click, $10. Romance, $0. Killua, $0. Both Rumi and Jinu, $0. The wig was sent to me for Jinu. Kunikita, $0. This one, I bought the fabric to make this outfit, so that was probably like $25. 0, 0, 0. But yeah, you get the point. Also, I permed my hair. Do you like it? It was permed before, but it was like way down, like uncurled for a long time. So I got it refreshed. My goal is to grow it out like really long, like, well, not that long. Let's not get crazy. Now I will say I'm not actually poor. I am an adult with adult money, but I have not been making a lot of, you know, consistent income for a while because obviously not employed. So I've been very cheap with my cosplays, like so cheap, like I barely spent any money at all on my cosplays for the past 6 months. I have always been very resourceful. Like my whole cosplaying career, I did spend quite a bit of money, but I barely like purchased cosplays. So today I'm going to share with you all the strategies I use to stretch out my cosplay budget for as long as possible and as frugally as possible. Number 1, closet cosplay. Closet cosplaying is essentially using items that you already have in your closet for your cosplays. The advantages of closet cosplaying are it's free, it already fits you, you don't have to do any work, and the quality is better than bought cosplays because these clothing are built to be worn in the real life and not just for one time at a convention. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me say this because I feel like in all of my videos I've been saying closet cosplay. But I think some people like to dismiss closet cosplaying because they're not a lot of effort, or they feel like they won't be very recognizable as a character with just normal clothing. And maybe they want something that's kind of more eye-catching than just like regular clothes. But trust me, you don't need the most eye-catching outfit in the room to get noticed. I've been pretty liberal in my closet cosplaying, I must say. Sometimes I wear clothes that are completely the wrong thing, but people still know who I am. I've never had that issue. Number 2, buy wigs that you can use for multiple characters. Before you're purchasing a wig, please think about it. Think about your plan for a long time. Every single wig that I buy, I consider at least 2 or 3 or more characters that I can use that wig for before I purchase anything. If I can't use that wig for any other character, I'll figure out a way to be able to use it for someone else, or I will really think if I really want to cosplay this character or not. And this mainly applies for kind of like more natural styling of wigs. If you're somebody who does like helmet wigs or more glued wigs, it could be a bit harder since those are very, you know, firm. But you can still plan in advance which characters you want to do so that maybe you'll be able to change things over time. If it's a dual tone hair color, for example, black and white, consider, are there multiple characters that have this dual tone hair color I can use it for? Or can I maybe buy a white wig, start with a long white wig, and then cosplay characters with shorter and shorter hair until you're done, and then dye the wig, the other half of the wig black, and then cosplay the dual tone hair color. And then after that, you can dye the rest of the wig black and then cosplay black hair characters. You gotta think like that. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but trust me, this is what I do, and it actually makes the biggest difference in the world, like not having to buy wigs. Cosplayers are crafty. I'm sure you can think of many characters that you can cosplay. Also, one thing to consider is the hairline. When you're purchasing a wig, make sure you're looking at a hairline that makes sense for multiple characters. So for example, if you're going to cosplay Killua and then Gojo, both of their hair styles are close enough that you can start with a longer wig for Killua and then cut it shorter, and then those 2 wigs can be the same wig. Once you cut a wig, it's kind of over. Like, it's got to stay that short. If I'm going to spend $50 on a wig, I want to cosplay at least 2 characters, if not more. Most of the wigs that I have are from AliExpress. However, more recently I've been switching over to Taobao, so I only buy my wigs from Taobao now. I just find they're better quality, and that doesn't mean styled. You need to style them yourself no matter what. I just mean it feels a little bit more natural, and then also you can find lace front wigs there and more variety of lace front wigs. But no matter what wig you get, it's always going to arrive flat. It is going to arrive flat. You're going to need to style it. The only wigs that I do buy in bulk are blonde, black, and white, because for example white I can dye it, so it doesn't really matter what color I get. But then the blonde and black, I cosplay so many characters with those hair colors that I know I'm going to use it no matter what. But even then, I'll usually try to plan in advance and kind of start with longer hair characters and then go shorter and shorter. Number 3, cosplay characters that match what you already own. Now this sounds a lot like the first one about closet cosplaying, but like the concept of it, okay, this sounds silly, the concept of it is the opposite. So with closet cosplaying, you're finding clothing that matches the character you want to cosplay. What I mean by this, look at what you already have and then think of a character. This is how I did Kunikita from Bungo Stray Dogs. I already had this vest and pants from cosplaying Rei Kogami money for my dress up donning. Sometimes I'll match my characters specifically for my contacts, because obviously that's the one that's going to be the hardest for you to DIY. You can't DIY contacts. Those have to be bought and shipped over. My favorite contact lens company is called Pudding Lenses. They ship their lenses from China and Japan. So if any of my contacts you were ever interested in, you can probably find it on their website. This is not a sponsored ad, but they do send me a lot of contact lenses, but I do genuinely really love their contact lenses, which is why I still work with them. I will note that I think this is easier to do with male characters. A lot of the times it's just like a t-shirt or like a button-up shirt or a black suit, or you know, something along those lines. If you have a couple suits, if you have a white and black t-shirt, if you have a white and black button-up, you can do a lot of characters. Number 4, be more thoughtful about what you buy and consider the longevity of the items that you purchase. Before you purchase a cosplay, and we're talking about the outfits right now, consider, is this something that you really love and want to cosplay multiple times, or are you cosplaying it because it's popular right now? And if it is because it's popular right now, which is fine, think about, are there other ways you can use this cosplay? For example, could you use it for several other characters in the same show or game or anime or whichever? Or are you able to reuse some of the items for different characters from another show? For example, this cosplay of Mira, I'm planning to use this specifically because I want to cosplay Zoe and Rumi. So I'm going to reuse elements from that cosplay and also take from my own closet to kind of try my best to match all of those characters. I'm hoping I'll be able to wear some of these items in real life because I actually just like them to wear. And if it's something that you don't mind kind of like using pieces of, you can even consider, like, for example, if there is a cosplay with shoulder pads that you think you can reuse for multiple characters. So I'm thinking specifically of the one piece, like the Admiral jacket that has the shoulder pads on top with like the golden tassels. I have that, but I've taken it off of the jacket and I've used it for Boa Hancock. On her cape she has them. Even on Mira's outfit she has these shoulder pads that you could also use for this characters as well. Just really think about your ROI on purchasing this cosplay. It's an investment. Are you going to be using it to its full extent, or is it going to be a one and done situation? And if so, is it worth spending $100, $50, $300, whatever, however much you're paying for this cosplay? Is it worth it? Really think about it. Is it worth it? If not, are there other ways you can do this cosplay? For example, with your closet, can you make it yourself? Can you get a cheaper version that you can upcycle yourself? But even if you get a cheaper version, still consider other ways you can use that cosplay, because you don't want it to go to waste. Especially if you're buying something cheap, you may as well try your best to use it as many ways as you can. And that takes us to the last one, which is upcycling, which is just essentially using either what you already have or go thrifting and then basically just making it look better. You can use your own items as a base and then kind of add to it to make it look a bit more interesting. Whether that be taking it in to better fit your body type, chopping up the shirt into a tank top if you're going to cosplay someone grungy, or layering pieces you have to make something new. For example, this top that I wore for my Zoe cosplay is actually 2 shirts that I just kind of layered on top of each other because I just wanted the general shape. I know it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look exactly like her outfit. People are going to know who it is. Same with Mira. I just had this t-shirt lying around and I was like, has a similar vibe to the one that she was wearing. I'm just gonna tie it up short and that's kind of it. And same with all of my K-pop Demon Hunter cosplays. All of my K-pop Demon Hunter cosplays have all been closet cosplays, except the sweater for Mystery is the only thing that I thrifted. Everything else, I did not buy a single thing. Even the wigs, I already had all of them except for Zoe and Jinu. Those 2 I got sent to me. All the other wigs I already had. I didn't buy any wigs for this. And that right there is already at 7 cosplays. I think the point I'm trying to sum up in this, really consider everything you buy before you buy them. Is it something that is really going to be worth your ROI, your return on investment? Or is it going to be something that you wear once and throw away? It's the same kind of concept with fast fashion. A lot of cosplay stuff, unfortunately, is pretty similarly treated as fast fashion. You wear it once to a con, or you only use it while it's kind of like in, and then as soon as the fad is over, people throw it out. Consider keeping it to upcycle the fabric later for other future cosplays, or donating it or selling it. Unfortunately, I have a huge pile of cosplays that I do not wear anymore from way back when I've cosplayed. Like ever since I started cosplaying, I've never thrown out any of my cosplays, which is probably bad, but I keep holding on to them because I keep thinking, maybe I can use this. I can use this fabric at some point. So I should probably get rid of some of it, but some of it I think I can still use it. Like I'm holding on to the fabrics. Anyways, I hope this was useful for you, at least a little bit. I hope you got some new ideas of how you can plan out your cosplays. This is how I've always been cosplaying, and the past 6 months has proven to me that I really don't need to be spending a lot of money. Like I've probably spent $150 total. Actually, I bought some expensive wigs. Maybe somewhere around $200 or $300. But if you're not buying a whole bunch of random expensive wigs and you're not cosplaying almost every single day like I am, you don't need to be spending that much money. And I've been doing this 6 months. If you consider 6 months under $300. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of that. So remember, you don't need to be spending a lot of money to cosplay. If you can and you will get a lot of use out of it, then all power to you. I hope that you do. And you'll look great, I am absolutely certain. But then you don't need to be spending that much money to also look great too. Okay, that's it. Bye!